everybody, and welcome back to another action figure review. Happy Friday the 13th, the greatest day of the year. It's Jason Voorhees' birthday, so happy birthday, Mr. Voorhees. Alright, okay, sure. He may be a machete-wielding, hockey mask-wearing, serial killer zombie, but we all love him for it. Speaking of love, I've got this amazing action figure of Jason Voorhees from the one and only Neca. Now, I am so excited. Man, oh man, is this going to be a killer addition to my collection. And wait a minute, this is actually Casey Jones, not Jason. My bad. Wow, this is trademark infringement. Come on. How low can you get? But that's okay, that's okay. I can fix this. Watch this. Ugh. Whoa. Now that is better. The Kings of Horror action figures have delivered my favorite Jason yet. This is his look in Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, which also happens to be my favorite film in the entire F13 franchise. It's this look and film that gave me nightmares as a child, specifically one scene that frightened the hell out of me. Truth be told, I am still a little bit scared of that scene, and I do check under my bed from time to time to make sure that, there's no monsters, Jason, or Chucky under there. If you know the scene, you know the scene. He's got a sick utility belt that can holster all of his glorious weapons, a tombstone, and a removable hockey mask. What more could you want in a Jason action figure? There is so much to unpack in this box, so let's get to it. Let's check out Neca's Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. Here it is, everyone. Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this box, this beautiful, beautiful damn packaging. Look at how amazing this looks. I love, of course, the light blasting from behind Jason's mask here. You got all these nice, beautiful beams of light. It looks so fantastic, very reminiscent of like 80s imagery. I really, really love this box. It is really a work of art. Let's move on to the side here. It's very, very simple. We have, again, the title of the film, the tombstone included in the box, and Neca Real Toys. Jason Lives, the thunder and lightning. It's cool with the lightning. That is what resurrects Jason in the movie. Spoiler. And here is the back of the box. We have Friday the 13th, of course, again up top. The branding of the franchise is all over this box. I love it. And we have a little write-up description of who Jason is, and we have some product shots of the figure, of him holding the machete, him here holding the spear, I guess here down here of his maskless head, his mask here. Honestly, it's a very, very cool background and backing of a package. Go ahead and pause the video if you would like to take a look and read that description. Let's move on to the side here, and same as the other side. It's the exact same, which is very nice and simple. Can't go wrong with that. And that is all for the packaging, the front and the back of the packaging. Let's go ahead now and open this bad boy up, and of course, leave it to Neca to make a phenomenal photo, product photo of the figure inside. Look at how killer that Jason Voorhees photo is. Again, absolutely frame worthy, 100%. I would love to rip that picture out and put it in a frame, stick it on my wall, but honestly, the box is a work of art in itself, so that's probably what I'll do, is just display the box. It's that sick. Of course, the window packaging with the plastic so we can see the figure right inside there. We can see all the glorious details, the figure, of course. We can see here that he has a machete, he has a knife. The tombstone, very cool down here. and we see the spear that he uses at the very beginning of the film. That's actually what resurrects him. And we have his mask, which is awesome. We get the maskless Jason right here, and then we get the mask up in the packaging, so we can slap that on our JV here at any time. I love that we can actually holster all of his weapons. I did almost forget to mention the framing around here. I love that it actually looks like a tomb, or like that he's in a grave. It's so cool. We have the tombstone that says Jason Voorhees up top. Looks like a cool angle, like you're looking down inside. We have the shovel that Tommy Jarvis and his buddy uses to dig out Jason's grave. We have the gasoline that Tommy pours all over Jason, trying to ignite him, but you know, that's when the lightning puts out the flame, and that's when everything goes straight to hell. But it's a very, very cool window box that, you know, it looks like we're looking inside Jason's tomb and grave. I love all the blood that's on his knees and his chest. It looks so damn cool. But of course, we're gonna get into all those details. So let's go ahead and bust this guy out of here. And here's our birthday boy, everybody. This is one of the coolest looking Jasons that I've ever seen. Now, I do have the Jason from part 4 right here, and they look very similar. When I took out the part 6 Jason, I said, wait a minute, this looks exactly like the part 4. And you know, when you're watching the movie, it's very hard to tell that, you know, they're dressed up the same, but they actually are. It looks crazy how accurate they are. I never actually really noticed. And here he is in all of his glory. Honestly, he looks super dope. I'm actually very excited and pleased with everything about him. I did take some time and mess around with them, articulate him, look at all of his accessories and his paint job, and of course we're gonna get all into that. First off though, let's check out his accessories. There's one major issue when it comes down to this. It's the only issue I think that I have with this figure, and that is his spear. This spear is a big pain in the butt because it it breaks in the center like that. And the only way to take the spear out of his hand is to literally pull it through his hand. His hands themselves don't have any kind of slit or slot that you can slide the weapon through. See that? There is no slot, just the hole big enough to slide the spear tips through. Now, the one on this hand, on his left hand, was actually a lot harder and stiffer to actually shove through, and I had to get like a little drill and kind of make a little bit more space in there. But now it kind of goes in. It's actually a little bit stiff still. Oh, there we go. Very stiff. Look at that. That's the worst part. And then you just, oh my God. I'm afraid I'm gonna break it, to be honest. So you just put it in his hand, you snap those together, and now you have a cool spear. I love when he uses it in the film, when Tommy uses it, when he uses it. It's so badass. But that is the only problem with this figure I have, that accessory. And one other thing I noticed is, like, check out his legs, how wobbly they are. You hear that? Now check this out. Same thing with my part 4 Jason. So here is his spear. Again, just clip it down in the middle. It's very long. It's what? He's a 7-inch figure, so it's probably about 8 or 9 inches tall. Nice paint job. It's basically all black with silver dry brush all over it, and it's that simple. I love the tip of it. Love that little detail of the end here being burnt. You see the lightning bolt in the movie strike the end of this spear, and that's the fry that happens to the end of that spear. The next accessory is this Jason Voorhees tombstone. Nothing special about it. He doesn't hold it or anything. It's just a tombstone. It's chipped, has his name on it, has a couple like green vines and foliage on it. It's nice. It's black with a little gray dry brush. Very well done, and it's a solid piece of plastic. Actually, what's really cool is I forgot to mention this. Let's pull it out because it's related. This is the backing in the package, and it's awesome. It's the top of the tomb of his tomb. So you can imagine that his tombstone would be right here, and then you flip looking in, and bam! That is his tomb that Tommy Jarvis cranks open. I love all the little details in here as well. Besides all the spider webs and the dirt and whatnot, you see little worms and bugs all over the place. His next accessory is an alternate right hand. Thank God that he actually comes with this, because I don't know if I like these hands with the hole. I've never been a fan of the hands with the hole where you just slip the weapon through. I've never been a fan of it. I get why it's cool, but you know, I'm personally a bigger fan of the normal gripping hand, as you can see there. It's wide enough of a grip to hold on to his machete. And as you can see, this is how I'm replacing his hand. You pull the one end off. It has a little peg here, and you slip the other hand on. Now, before I do that, I do want to point out another actually issue that I noticed is you look at his skin tone area. So you can see where his shirt ends right there. You can see that his skin tone is actually the same color paint job as his shirt. And I'm not a big fan of it. You know, you can definitely see that his skin up here is all brown, gross, and green. And that goes with both arms too. They're unpainted. You know, he has it on this Jason. Look how cool that is. You see all the paint job in there. Love that. This little peg is also very tiny. I'm scared I might break it. Hold on. All right, there we go. So I was able to put the wrist on. Honestly, I don't know if I'm ever gonna put the other wrist on back, because you can just use this wrist to hold the spear as well. So that hand is kind of almost too much and irrelevant. Might as well have given him an extra weapon, maybe like one of these darts that he has, you know, holstered in his utility belt here. He doesn't have one of those darts. These darts don't come out. He uses them in the movie. Let's move on to his other weapons here. Of course, it, you know, sheaths right into this. Well, sheath right here. They don't clip together or anything, but the knife slides right in, no problemo. Love that. Let's bust that out, stick it in his hand so you guys can see what it looks like. Oh, okay, I see. So this knife actually fits in the hold hands, like that. The hold hands makes no sense. Again, the hands are a little stiff and tight, the holes anyway, so it's hard to shove that knife in there, and I don't want to break the blade or anything. So that's very cool. I love that. Let's pull out his machete, which I sheathed as well. Looks awesome, and it's not covered in blood, not just yet. But yeah, there's the machete. Looks cool. The paint job and the sculpt on both accessories. The back of it actually has a little serrated edge to it. You can see the serrade here. The paint job is actually fairly basic. Black handle on the knife and silver blade. No dry brushing or inking on that weapon. Actually, and that goes with the machete as well. It's also black and silver, and there is no dry brush or anything crazy on there. Silver blade, black handle. You get the little screws in the handle where it holds the blade in, but that's it. What's very cool about his mask, let me just like blabber about this for a sec. I love more than anything that if you look closely enough or behind it, there's no holes in the mask. Let's see, bam, no holes in the mask. Normally there would be holes in a Jason mask, but in the movie, if you look at his mask, you can actually see that they blacked out or blocked out the eye sockets with like a black mesh, so you can't actually see his eyeballs. No Jason mask has ever broken on me in the past, and I've purchased so many Neca Jasons, so you'll be okay. It's not gonna break on you or anything. You see the back of the strap looks a little bit different, and you can actually see right through the mask from the part 4, because, well, you could in part 4. And it just slips right onto his head like so. That's all for the accessories on Jason, guys. Let's take a closer look at all these beautiful details. And of course, you guys have been staring at this guy for some time now, so you've been witnessing and taking a look and judging for all the details for yourself. It's Neca quality at its finest. You see all the wrinkles. It's absolutely stunning and beautiful. Look at all those wonderful details. The belt itself does not come off, yet it is very detailed. Look at all that. It's a different kind of green to the shirt jacket, which I really appreciate. They didn't go cheap on the green colors here. I love the studs in the belt too. I never even noticed that in the film. Love the sheath that comes with him. It's, you know, soft rubber actually, which is very nice and malleable. Don't try to tug it off or anything. It's attached there permanently. The darts that are on his belt here do not come out. Unfortunately, I wish they really did, because that's one of the coolest parts of this Jason, and the fact that he has a sick utility belt. He's Batman of the serial killer world of the 80s slasher film genre. I wouldn't be surprised if he beats the hell out of Batman. I'm saying that right now. Jason versus Batman. I'm putting my bets on Jason. I'm not gonna lie.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
All the wonderful paint details as well. Love all the blood all over his knees and his legs. The sheer amount of dry brushing on this guy and inking is just top-notch. Phenomenal job from Neca. As always, honestly, Neca never has a problem when it comes down to inking or dry brushing, but I absolutely am in love with all the details in his legs here. Even down to the ripped pants at the bottom. I love how ripped it looks and worn and torn and old and aged and weathered it is. His shoes as well. I've looked and seen his shoes in the film. It's spot on. Good coloring, dry brush, ink, you got it. It's there. They are different boots. I do wish that he had some silver studs in there for the laces like the Part 4 one does, but hey, it's fine. I just noticed the wrinkle details in the bottom of his pants. Love that. It's just like the tiny little details, whether it be right here in his thigh and the stretch marks of his jeans or his khakis here. Let's look at his hands and his gloves here. I love that he actually has gloves in this movie. He grabs them from Tommy Jarvis. Those are Tommy Jarvis's gloves. Love that. The design and the sculpt of them themselves are very nice. Actually, nice dry brush on there as well. The best part of any Jason toy is his face. So with the big reveal, let's take off the helmet or the mask and see what he looks like underneath the mask. And there he is. That is so cool that we actually get to see a little bit more of Jason's face under the mask. And I say that because we don't actually get to see at all what he looks like. We see a little bit, but it's so in shadow. It's late at night. You see that? How cool is that? I love that so much. You see like the bone, the skull, like that is crazy. And my favorite part is the cut here at the top of his head. And that cut originates from Part 4 Jason when young Tommy Jarvis takes the machete and actually just, slices him right there. He just puts the machete right in Jason's skull, and that carries on into Part 6. How sick is that? The skulls themselves actually don't really look similar, but to be honest, no Jason head in any movie looks similar to the previous rendition of Jason. There's like mud all over his head and his neck. You see a little bit of ears. You see all the the muscle tissues in his cheekbone and on his head. It's so textured, almost looks like he's been burned alive or something. Very, very nice detail. Now you can see a little bit of his eyeball here. His left eye is completely gone. He doesn't have a left eye. Of course he doesn't have a left eye because it got messed up in Part 4. Let's go ahead now and check out all of his articulation. Now, the articulation on Jason is mirrored on both sides, so I am only going to be checking out one side of Jason's articulation today. Now, let's start off with his leg, and he does actually have quite the amount of movement in his legs. Oh, look, mask is already off. We're taking the mask off for this. Let's do it. So he can actually do the splits fairly well. He doesn't have that much movement in his foot. You can really only rotate it left a little bit and right a little bit. It's not really on a ball peg, at least not that I can feel it out. I think it only has left and right movement and not even up and down movement. Like, it's basically just very loose. Like, you can't really do much with this foot at all. As you can see, there's not a lot of movement at all. There's a single jointed knee and it works well. It only goes about that far, kicks out as far as he needs to. Now you can actually rotate his lower leg at the knee, which is really cool. And it's not something that I would really expect on Jason, but it's cool that you can actually rotate the bottom of his leg like that just to get him standing at a, different pose, different angle. He does have a little bit of movement in the waist. That's as far as he can lift his arms. And he does have a single jointed elbow as well. And you can rotate the elbow I was gonna say you can rotate the elbow at the knee. I wish he can actually, bring his wrist and his forearm a little bit closer. I wish it was actually double jointed. As for his wrist, as you saw, it's only on a tiny little peg, so he doesn't have that much movement in the wrist, right? You could just, well, of course you could rotate the wrist. And last but not least, his head, you can move it left, you can move it right. He doesn't have that much movement. Actually, he has actually really good movement up and down. So you can move it down, you can move it up, right? It's pretty damn cool. And you know what I didn't even mention earlier is the teeth. You can see Jason's teeth. How sick is that? Let's get a closer look at those teeth here. Cool details. I just completely missed it. And you see like the skull structure of his head. You see the bridge of his nose. You actually see like the 2 holes of his nostrils. Well, that is all the articulation on this Jason Voorhees, guys. He's pretty solid, I'm not gonna lie. Now with all the articulation out of the way, let's go ahead and compare him to other figures on the market. It's Friday the 13th, so there's no sense in showing you other figures that are on the market. I'm just gonna show you more Jason toys because it's his day. Let's celebrate Friday the 13th and Jason Voorhees. We have Jason on the left from part 2. That is also from Neca from 2005. We have the Jason right beside him. That is from the final chapter, Friday the 13th part 4. That is a recent toy within the last couple years. That is Neca. Of course, we have the Neca Friday the 13th part 6, Jason Lives. And the last one on the right here is the Jason versus Freddy version. I believe also from 2004, also Neca. Well, if you guys can't tell from me rambling on about how much I love this guy, well, I absolutely love this action figure. He's definitely my favorite Jason that I own right now. And like I said, this is my favorite Friday the 13th film. This is the Jason that, you know, I grew up loving. This is the first Jason film, Friday the 13th film that I've ever watched as a child. I'm honestly so damn excited to finally own a part 6 Jason, and he does make for a killer addition to my collection. Alright everyone, thanks for checking out my review of Neca's Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th part 6, Jason Lives. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a like, comment down below, share it with all your collector friends, and let me know down in the comments if you like this figure or if you don't like this figure. Do you already own him? Who's your favorite Jason? Which is your favorite Friday the 13th? Let's just talk about Jason and Friday the 13th. It's his day. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Jason. And happy Friday the 13th to everyone out there. And of course, I'm going to be posting photos of this Jason on my Instagram, which you can check out at Claudio's Collection. So follow me there for more content. Thanks again for watching, and you can catch me in the next one.